Hello, my friends. John LaRuffa here with another Straight Up Solo. In this episode, we are going to do my A tier list of solo board games. Now, you've seen my other videos. I did the B, I did the C, I did the D. Now we're going to A. And A is characterized by a couple things. Now, first thing, I didn't set these up into big blocks like I did the other ones because they mostly fall into one big category, which is these games give me extreme joy and excitement time and time again. Meaning I can play them over and over again, and I still feel like, oh man, that was such a good game. And you just feel that in the core of your being when you have something that is so enjoyable that you like so much. So that is the way that most of these go. Some of these other ones are like, this is just a brilliant game, very clever and very approachable. So those are the kinds of things that make up the A tier for me. So we're just going to roll down the list. First one, which I've just recently got not too long ago, Speakeasy. You've seen me play it live, potentially. You've seen my review of it. What a good game from Vital Lacerda. Did a fantastic job taking a concept of the area control and getting your own speakeasy empire going and making it into a board game, which was approachable, fun, and very doable solo. Sweet game. Lots to enjoy there. Lots of different things to explore. Love it. Another one that's brand new to me, but not brand new to all of you, which I absolutely think is worth this tier, is the Elder Scrolls. This would be the ones, the Betrayal of the Second Era. Although I like to say age sometimes or whatever. I go back and forth. I don't know why. I keep goofing it up. Anyway, it's the chip theory games, the Elder Scrolls. Great game. Now, not for everybody in that one, but if you have the time, the patience, the desire, and unfortunately the budget for it, it really provides something special. And I think a lot of people will agree that if you like a character building game, there are few that do it better than the Elder Scrolls, or at least more satisfying. Very, very cool. Love that game and will continue to want to play it over and over. Here's another one that I just featured this week or a couple days ago. In my live play, Wayfarers of the South Tigris. Or I'm sorry, that is a different one. My mistake. That's a spoiler for last year. Anyway, Wayfarers of the South Tigris, really good game too. I really like that game. I love it with the expansion. It is a fantastically fun game. It turned the corner for me. So when I played a lot of the North Sea stuff, I wasn't all that juiced. And then a couple of the West games were like, okay, I'm getting there. Then Wayfarers of the South Tigris really turned it on its head for me because there was so much. It was like a tapestry of cool stuff you could do in that game. And I love the set collection and the way it works. Definitely an A tier game for me. It's impossible to beat solo. I'm sorry. Maybe I know there's some people out there who can do it, but it's just, I don't care. It's still so much fun to play. I don't care if I can't beat it solo. Next one, way different genre, way different everything else. 1862. This is the only train game that I know of. It's an 18xx game that can really be played solo, and it is superbly done. Really, really, really cool if you like the idea of an 18xx game. It's not an easy game to play. It is not an impossible game either. It's very hard to do well. You really, in order to beat the score that they recommend to win, I've never done it, never. And I want to do it. I do. But you have to really understand the system. And that's what makes the game so brilliant, is that you can master that game. And when you see that final score, it's just like, holy cow, I can't believe I did it. Now, I came closer not playing the solo, at least getting into that level. But the solo, I still am not there yet. Still, I love it. I love 1862. Highly recommend that game. If you want to play an 18xx game but never have been able to find people to do it, that's a great one. Switching again to a different genre, Age of Innovation. Age of Innovation takes the best thing from the Gaia project and from Terra Mystica, in my opinion, mashes them together and gives you an amazing experience. I love that game. I love how different it can play when you combine different races and different classes, etc. You really can set up a modular experience. There's a ton to enjoy there, and it plays very well solo. It's just a delight. Love it. Here's another one that is really cool. I know I'm going all over the place with genres here, but Imperium Horizons, Legends, and Classics. So all of these are great. This card-driven action game for like that that interesting way of doing a Civ really took me by surprise, and I very much appreciated it. But what I really loved is how each of the different civilizations played similarly in little ways, but very different in how they felt. And that you could play against a really good AI bot. It does have a learning curve. That's the thing. The bot, but they did a much better job as they refined it when they put out the Horizons game. It helped tie everything together, I think, a lot better, and really enjoy that genre. Tons of fun. And I love it. Every time I play it, I'm like, man, this game is so good. The only thing I have against the game is the scoring is a drag. It's almost like when you get to the end, I'm like, oh, I gotta score. Ugh. But anyway, really good game. Another very good game, very puzzly in nature, sitting right over my left shoulder over here, and that is Oranienburger Kanal. This is a very cool solo experience, and they give you, you can get extra decks that change the strategy completely in what you're doing. But every time I play it, I'm like, oh, there is just something unique and satisfying about playing this game. It doesn't even have that many actions when you compared to other Uwe Rosenberg games or any other worker placement games. And yet the way the cards play, elevate it to such a very interesting puzzly game to play. Love it. Go into a completely different direction. I know I'm just bouncing all over the place here, but my stream of consciousness and how I put these out is kind of interesting, I guess. Cooper Island. I haven't played Cooper Island in a little while because it is a very tough learning curve, but it was a game that blew me away, and I played it over and over and over again, trying to get better, trying to finally beat the solo bot. Finally was able to figure out how to beat it on just the easiest level, but still was such a unique and novel experience. And it was that way because it was so tight, so constrained. And yet when you were able to put the moves together to make it work, it was just like you felt like, yes, I have done it. I have figured out how to not score poorly. And it is so satisfying. I've always liked Cooper Island, really, really do. And that's one, though, that I think you have to buy the solo separate if I'm not remembering it wrong. All right, another experience that a lot of people, I think, either love or hate, but I certainly loved it, which was 7th Citadel. 7th Citadel took what 7th Continent did and made it so much better in almost every way. I still like 7th Continent, but 7th Citadel made it so that I could actually feel like I wasn't just getting beat over the head. You have an adventure on your hands that is totally up to you, but the sense of exploration in that game and the sense of accomplishment when you actually can win the campaign you're playing, and there's multiple, just really good game, really, really good game. Kind of expensive, and also kind of unique. You have to like the idea of a push. It's like a push your luck sort of thing in the way the card play goes, and you have to be able to take risks, but you have to also know when not to get off the beaten path too far and waste your time, and then ultimately fail because you just ran out of gas. Just a really, really cool game. Very good. Another game that really excites me to play, and I love doing it, is Andromeda's Edge. And I just backed, not too long ago, the expansion for it. Andromeda's Edge is a very sprawling, big, it's one of those, I would say, games that's like, and I don't even have the Super Deluxe edition or whatever, but it falls into the genre of a Kickstarter, huge, semi-overproduced game, but yet the gameplay is so much fun. I really like it. They fixed some of the things about its predecessor that just the way you could do the targeting dice made the combat a little bit more interesting, and just in general, lots to explore, tons of solo replayability, tons to get into. Really like Andromeda's Edge. Now here's a game that harks back to something that was it's like a distillation of the best Euro mechanic. I would say necessarily, I'm getting off. It takes a classic Euro game, refines it, makes it so much better and so enjoyable to play, and that is Black Forest. Black Forest is it's just a joy to play. It's so much fun because the buildings that you have will be different every time, and the way that the board works is different. So it's a strategic and tactical experience all rolled into one that plays very easily as a solo and is extremely enjoyable. And I love playing it. Usually when I set it up, I play it a couple of times in a row because it's just so good. It's a great, great game. It really is. Endeavor Deep Sea. This is one that was not on my radar at all, and I saw it, and I saw it was getting a ton of praise for its gameplay and solo ability. I checked it out, and man, that's so good. So good. Very hard to win solo-wise. But just it takes the source material, which is deep sea diving, or I just say ocean exploring, I guess you could say, and really nails it with a game. It makes, yes, there's some things that are definitely gamey, but it's the sense of exploration and the sense of finding what you need is palpable and exciting in that game. And that's what really makes it so much fun. Plus, it is not a game where you have even remotely enough time to do everything you want. So you really have to focus, make a strategy, and do your best to accomplish it. Just a joy. I also backed the expansion for that a little while ago. Can't wait to see that come in. All right. Another Lacerda game that makes my A tier list is Inventions, Evolution of Ideas. This was the first Lacerda that I felt really nailed an approachable solo and a joy of a game to play. And the reason I say that is because I do like some of his other, I've got another one on this list too, but in order to play it, on some of the solo games, it's like you have to learn a new system completely. I didn't feel that as much with Inventions, and Inventions just had just a fun spark to it. I really, really like playing that game, and it's just got so much to explore, so much to enjoy, and yet it feels like it's possible to do well, to beat the bots, and not have a tremendous uphill challenge. I also like that there's no fail condition where you can't just be booted out of the game because you didn't get such and such done. So that's a really good one to check out. This is one that a lot of people love. It doesn't quite make my S tier, probably just because I've played it so much. It's a little bit in the background, but that is Spirit Island, especially with the expansions. Jagged Earth. What's the other one? I got to look over my shoulder to see it. Yeah, I guess Jagged Earth is probably my favorite one. Spirit Island is a great, great game. It's a classic, really. It's a classic solo game. You could play it with other people for sure, but it's a co-op game that works just fine with one person. There's only a couple of the spirits that really kind of need two people or two spirits to play with. Most of it is very doable solo, and I really enjoy it. It's a sandbox style kind of game. It's got deck building, it's got unique scenarios, just fantastic. All right. Now, going to a dice drafting game, Tiletum. Every time I play this game, I like it more and more. It is one of those games that every time I find something new or exciting, it is extremely constrained. I feel like the expansion really added to it and flushed out even more stuff you could do. It didn't necessarily dilute it, but it did widen it out a bit. And I think that was fun to do. I don't think it's needed, but it's definitely interesting. The solo bot is a little bit weird to get your head around, but I don't care. The gameplay by in itself is good enough where I'm just so tickled to be able to play it from a solo standpoint. It's a very tight dice drafting game. You always feel like there's not enough time. You want to do more. There's a lot of tension. It's just fun to play, plain and simple. I love Tiletum. Here's one that has to, it's actually two things, right? I'll put them neck and neck, although I'll give the nod to Marvel Champions, the card game. The other one I would say is Arkham Horror, the card game. Both of these LCG games are truly fantastic. They really are. I would prefer, I'd say, the Marvel Champions just a little bit more, only because I felt like the Arkham Horror card game from scenario to scenario was so different. It was like almost learning a new game every time. And that got a little bit exhausting and overwhelming for me, to be honest. And so I found that I enjoyed knowing and understanding the system for the Marvel Champions and then working on, the character creation and trying different superheroes and different deck designs. Both of them are very, very, very good, though. They really are. And I would say that if you had to pick an LCG to get into, you can't really go wrong with either of those. I think Marvel Champions is probably more approachable, but I know there are some people who, for whatever reason, don't appreciate that game as much as, well, I guess as much as I do. Either way, they're great. They're both good. Mansions of Madness Second Edition also is an A tier game for me. And the reason behind that is I always just love the experience in playing it. It's I know it's app driven. That puts some people off, but it's very tight. It's very cool. Yes, you have to set things up. Yes, there's a lot of stuff that's moving around. It's an experience for sure, but I always have a good time, even when I lose. That's not one of those games where I feel like, oh, I'm just going to get clobbered. Why would I play it? I mean, I only win it maybe a quarter of the time, but I always feel like it's so close. Oh, if I only did this or that, I could have done this. And it's just an enjoyable game. And I like how the board evolves, how even though if you play the same scenario over and over again, if you have a couple of different expansions, it mixes things in so you can't be sure you know what you're going to get. Really, really good game. Highly recommended, especially for people who want a game with a really good atmosphere and a theme that goes on. It really adds to the game, I'd say. All right. This one is a remake of an older game, and that is Skymines. Skymines is probably, I haven't played it with multiple players. I think it plays just fine with solo. It probably plays better with more players just because you have more of the corporate interaction, back and forth stuff in the air majority. However, I love it solo. Very good. Every time I play it, I'm like, why don't I play this more? It's just really, really cool. And the way that you can focus in that game really lends to the joy of it, like pumping up investing in different corporations, getting their board presence out, and seeing how those cards interact with you and in the deck building. All of it's good. All of it is good. Love Skymines. Here's another remake of a game I used to own that I sold and then got again when it released a solo player, and that was Zhangou. Or Zhangou, I'm not sure how to say it exactly. But that is a game that takes what's awesome about Euro games and brings it up to another level. It is just really fun to play. It's another game that's very constrained, where you're trying so hard to get these majorities, if you will, and be the one that has the most focus on the different objectives. And they're there from the beginning, so you can see them. And the card play is very interesting too. Just a really good, very, very fun Euro. Love that game. And in a similar way, this game got a lot of slamming. I don't know why. People didn't find it as exciting as I did, but I love Asian Tigers. I think for an area majority kind of game, I can't find a better. I mean, that just, the game does it so well in the solo mode. It really, really is a joy to play. And it's also pretty hard to win. I mean, I've gotten close and I've beaten it once or twice, but it keeps you on your toes. You really have to be thinking. And you're always like spread out. It's like, I got to do this and I got to do this almost at the same time. How do I do one and then not lose out on the other? Just a really fun, really good game for what it is. I always appreciate playing Asian Tigers. Stroganov is a game that blew me away because the uniqueness of the gameplay is so unlike anything else that I've played. It is just super fun. And when they remade it and kind of like updated it with the expansion, it made it even that much better. I have a tough time describing the game because it is so unique, and it melds the theme and the gameplay in such a way that is just really, really a delight. And I've always been blown away by that. Even when I first got it, I'm like, wow, this is really good. This really stands out, different than anything else. And I think it's just, they give you plenty to do. There's lots that you can try to do, but you got to stay focused. You want to get deeper into the territory. Really, really cool design. Tons of fun. And here's another one that I was shocked at how awesome the design and the play is, and that is Sabika. It's right over here behind me. Man, oh man, this game, I tell you what, I didn't know what to expect. It looks like a very, rondel generic work. It looks like everything else you've always played, and yet there is so much to discover and so much to enjoy and so much to try to do in that game in a rondel situation. It's so fun. It's so good. It was, I think, if it wasn't my game of the year when it came out, or the year after it came out, it was pretty close because it was just such an intense and enjoyable experience. And the way you can add to your scoring and put together different contracts or tapestries or whatever they were called And the way that the workers move, where you would be, that rondel got clogged, and it's like, oh, I really need to do this, but I can't. It just lent itself to a delightful experience. So I will always keep that game, and I love playing it. Now, this is a very, I kind of knew I was going to like this game, and it definitely exceeded my expectations, and that is the Anarchy. Hadrian's Wall was good, but the Anarchy was even better. The Anarchy seemed to take everything good about Hadrian's Wall and turn it up a notch. And I really like the defense kind of castle siege mechanism that you're working towards. That to me was much more enjoyable than just the way the cards came in for Hadrian's Wall. And I think it's really fun to play the campaign that's included in the Anarchy, because it changes the game up on you and challenges you to different things. And there's a ton of good gameplay there, just a ton of it. If you haven't played the Anarchy and you like rolling rights, or flipping rights, I should say, fantastic game. You definitely should check it out. Another very standard Euro theme pasted on, doesn't even matter, but awesome game to me is Bonfire. They also released an expansion, which was fine. It was fine. But Bonfire itself was just so much fun mechanically. You can't win that solo. I'm very convinced that there's no possible way to win. I don't care. I play it as a beat your own score, and I love every bit of it. It is just a very mechanically enjoyable game, and one that clearly blows me away every time I play it. I love Bonfire. Now, this game, I can't wait for them to update it, and I've been waiting years for them to update it with the second edition update pack, and that is Mr. President. Mr. President is a feat of modern board game genius, and it does the political engine so well without being political. I just can't even imagine how they pull that off. Whether you are a conservative or a liberal, whether you're Democrat or Republican, whatever your ideology is, you can play this game, and that does not put you off anyway, because the game is not pushing an agenda one way or the other, and it also doesn't really identify you as one of those things or another. It basically identifies your opponents and your allies. So and yet it does a great job in the realistic world, right? You have regions in the world that are hostile, the regions in the world that are friendly to America. So it really captures the feeling of being the president. Now, I don't, obviously not. How would I know? Because I'm not the president. But it just really feels like, wow, this absolutely feels like you are sitting in the Oval Office behind the decision desk. The only problem with it, which is why I'm waiting for the second edition to play it again, is that because it seemed like once I got the hang of it, you could win by year 2 of your presidency, and the rest of it was just like, it's a landslide. I'm going to just take care of everything. So I'm really hoping that the second edition improves upon that, so that it doesn't make it so that if I survive those first 2 years, the second 2 years are just like, I know I'm going to make it. It's going to be fine. So we'll see. But I have to put in this list because it is a modern masterpiece, in my opinion. Here's a game with a mechanic that I had never heard of. I shouldn't say never heard of. I've never really experienced, and also one that I kind of backed on a whim, and this is Arborea. Arborea is a very unique game of like worker advancement. You get these workers on these tracks, and the longer they stay, the better the stuff gets. But you want to get them off the track to take the actions. The actions are varied. The way the resources work is really cool too. Like you move up the resource, and then if you close it, you get other bonuses and other things. It is a joy to play and very unique. The way the scoring works is it's all like situational based on I guess I'm not sure, I wouldn't say like area majority. It's more like you're crafting these boards that score based on how you're putting in these little creatures, and so it's just, the whole thing is unique on its own. But if you like to learn new things that'll blow you away, I really think Arborea is top of its class when it comes to that. Great game. Here is a game that I really appreciated, and it took some of the stuff from a previous game I liked by the same designer and did it much better, and that's Ezra and Nehimia. it has the card play that was similar to the Legacy of You, I thought. But it really focuses that card play into a way with a much more Euro-style enjoyable game where you've got to try to do so many things, but you can't do nearly as much as you want. The solo bot can be beat, but it's tough. It's just a fun, fun game. And they really work the theme in pretty good, all things considered. I think at least. But a very, very fun game. Not the most complicated, but not a light game by any means. It fits right into the medium category. If you were looking for a game that gets that Garfield feel to it and wanted a good medium entry place to go, a single entry where it's not a part of the trilogy or anything else, Ezra and Nehimia, I think, is a fantastic choice. Stepping back now to a much more classical feel, Crown of Emara. Crown of Emara, definitely on my A tier list because it is just a fun mechanical game to play. The theme is, who cares, right? It's just another standard fantasy theme. But yet the way that the systems work together and that you're trying to balance out both scores, and there's card play that's fun and enjoyable. The whole thing is very tight, very good, very solid. It's a great Euro experience. I always enjoy playing it, and I don't play it as much as I should. Crown of Emara is a definite recommendation for me. Now, this is another game, strange, weird theme. Never even heard of, like, it doesn't make any sense to me, but yet it blew me away. And it was Mistwind. Flying whales? But in this game, the route building and the pick up and deliver because of the route building was sweet. It is fun to play solo. It's fun to play with other people. The action selection is really good. The way that you're trying to build your routes and establish, basically like presence and different things makes for some really cool pick up and deliver. And unlike some other pick up and delivers that feel like you're plotting and trying to like get stuff done and it's really hard, this thing you can zoom around after if you've invested in that network of yours and really pull off some sweet turns. Very fun game. I really like it. Mistwind was a super surprise to me, and I'm really glad that I purchased it because I didn't back it in Kickstarter. I found it in the store and I was like, I'll give it a try. And boy, am I glad I did. Now, going to the complete opposite direction, probably one of the lightest games I have in my collection, but one of the best puzzle games I have in my collection is Bullet Heart or Bullet Star or Bullet, whatever you want to say, because there's many of them. I continue to invest in this game because it is just cool. It is a very, very cool, very light, but very fun puzzle game that you can play solo well. They have timed attack. They have to beat the boss. It is just a unique pattern building game that is fun and enjoyable to play. And there's so many different characters to play in the game. It makes it unique and fun every time. And you can play against each of them. You can play with or against. So the pairings are completely different. Really cool game. I really like it. Okay, getting near the end here. This one is on the other end, one of the heaviest games I have, one of the hardest games I have to play, but it's very cool in its feeling is Weather Machine. Now, this is a game that it's so difficult. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those games that I love, but it's so difficult. You take so much concentration, and what you do and how the solo bot plays is just different enough to screw you up. It's like, why would that be on your A tier list? And yet it is. It's just fun. It's just unique. The board looks beautiful. The components are outstanding. The challenge is huge. The feeling of getting stuff done is satisfying, but it is a very heavy game. Highly procedural. Each action has multiple steps, and those steps are slightly different when the AI does it. And there's lots of ways it can trip you up. I think I have 2 solo playthroughs or sessions, and the one was so fraught with errors because it was so hard to do right. I just spent time apologizing. So I did do another one and tried to redeem myself and did much better, but man, it's still tons of fun, but it is not one I could easily recommend unless you're like, oh, I love picking up heavy games and spending countless hours trying to master them. Well, that's Weather Machine for you. Okay, last one, a game I just recently got and was blown away by how much fun this flip and right, this X and right, I'll say, sandbox is, and that is Tend. And I haven't put out my solo review of it yet, but I will be putting it out soon. This was a really, really enjoyable sandbox game. you're basically on this abstract futuristic place where you're able to do 4 different tasks. And those tasks are equally interesting, equally fun to do, but you cannot blend around and do all sorts of things and just do okay. There's objectives you have to score. You have a ton of freedom of how you want to do it, but there's some serious synergies in planning and being focused. And when you could do that, you can double your score of a bad game from a good game. It just uses a lot of really cool mechanics, and it is a very, very fun sandbox game. I will explain more in a different video. So that is my list of A-tier games. In my opinion, not every one of these games would be something I could teach someone easily or whatever, because a lot of them are pretty heavy or they're pretty hard. But there is nothing bad in this list. In my opinion, these games will be in my collection forever, and they are always a joy to play. And they are always fun, no matter what and how long it's been since I played them, how many times I played them in a row. I just love these games. So thanks so much for watching my A-tier list of solo games. I really appreciate it. And I'm interested to see, what did I miss on this? I mean, we've had some good conversations. Just comment whatever you want, really. The fact is, I've got 2 more lists after this. I've got the F tier, which I'll do next, which I would consider not good games, solo standpoint. And then finally the S tier, my tops. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. Whatever you do in the future, I really hope you have a fantastic time doing it. Take it easy.